So we're going to call this one The Vicious Circle. I'm going to share some personal stuff about my life that, in all actuality, I'm too embarrassed to share. I don't want to share it because people judge you upon status. But I'm at that point, when you lose it all and you don't have anything else left, you don't think about status. All you got is you, and you got God and the people that are rooting for you. I do believe I have people rooting for me, but I don't think that any of them may have. It's crazy because let me talk about the vicious circle. I've always been the idea person, the person who comes up with the idea. I've always been the person who puts together the plan and create the business. We don't have to go work no 9 to 5. Let's do this. I've worked my 9 to 5s. Don't get it twisted. I have. If you go back on this on my channel, you'll see that I have worked 9 to 5s, more than one at a time at times. But to start the vicious circle, I'm going to take us back to 2022. In 2022, I was hurting real bad. I was down bad. COVID had just ended and we were able to go back to work. I didn't get my job back yet. So I was doing Uber and Lyft, and I ended up getting public assistance, which is food stamps. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I got an access card. Now, I'm a man's man, and if going to apply for an access card for food stamps when you're a man's man is one of the hardest things you could ever do in your life. It's one of the hardest things that you can ever do in your entire life. I did that, and I kept filling job applications out, job application after job application. So I went back to my old job, which was Verizon Wireless. Great friend in there, Charles, my brother Chris, he got me that job before, but I went back to it. And I called the public assistance, the county assistance office, and I said to them, hey, I got a job now, I'm making this, blah, blah, blah. You can turn the food stamps off. Boom. That's 2022. Let's fast forward. Now, at the same time, I'm working, and now I'm building up my clothing line. Diamond Stud. If you see, I uploaded a lot of videos of my clothing line because I'm always hustling. I sell sex toys. I sell my Diamond Stud clothing line. First of all, Diamond Stud, the diamond is feminine and it represents royalty. The stud is masculine and it represents family. So it's the royal family in the form of Diamond Stud. Okay, boom. I got that out there. I got Facebook groups. It's on Instagram. It's _ Diamond Stud, DIAMOND STUD. On Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. On Facebook, my name is Toy Long, right? TOY space LONG. Okay. Got that out the way. I just plugged myself. I ain't got no money. What else is there? So, all right. So now we're in 2024. My clothing line is doing okay. Not as good as I wanted to, but it is, it's the beginning of a new hustle. And SEPTA get in touch with me. SEPTA, Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. SEPTA is located primarily in Philadelphia, but it goes to the outskirts of Philly, like the counties, the suburban areas as well. Southeastern Pennsylvania. I got a job with them on January 8th. Two things happened on January 8th. One thing that happened on January 8th was I got a letter sent to me. Was my start date to go and work for SEPTA as a assistant conductor on the regional rail train. The second thing that happened to me was I got a letter in the mail stating that I committed fraud and I owe food stamps, public assistance, $1,700, right? 1,700 fucking dollars. I didn't get $1,700 in food stamps, but I owe them 1,700 probably for court costs and fees and all that stuff. I know how that works. Yeah, so that's that. So I say, okay, I wanted to go fight them. You never get to see the judge. Delaware County, I'm living in Glen Old, in the court cases in Delaware County. You never go get they never let you see the judge. You see the DA or whoever's making the deal with you. Here, we can make this deal and you can pay this, and it won't be a felony if you pay this off. I'm like, okay, no, we want to see the judge. I want to see the judge because I don't steal, I don't rob, I don't kill, I don't do anything out of the to be a menace to society. I don't do anything to be a menace to society. I do. Oh, here's Diamond State, y'all. Here's Diamond State, and I got my sneaks on, and it's crazy because this is a Verizon shirt. So to make a long story short, with that part, it's all about money for them. They only wanted money. They were not going to see if I and then I said, so how, why is this letter here? And it said because you gave the wrong number. So I gave them my base pay number, in which I'm not going to say because that's Verizon Wireless's business. I gave them my base pay number on what I was getting paid, but I was a solution specialist at the time in 2022, and it's sales, it's tech, and it's customer service. So I was making my base pay, but also if you do great, you get like checks for like $500 extra, an extra check. That's just like because you get commission. So I gave them my base pay, but I also told them to turn it off. So their argument is that I lied to them about the amount I was getting paid. And in all actuality, I did by accident because I gave you my base pay, but I'm not going to say, hey, this month I'm making $700. This month I'm making $500. This month I'm going to make $200. I don't know. I gave y'all asked me, how much do I get paid? I told you. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking I'm in court. Y'all asked me how much. They asked me how much do I get paid. I allowed them to know that my base pay. My commission, you never know what your commission is going to be. You don't know that. All right, that's that. I saw it was a no-win. They tried to get me for running. The Delaware County tried to get me for running a stop sign before, in which I never in my life got a ticket for a stop sign. I sat my behind in that courtroom until they said, we'll send you a letter. And then they said, we dropped the case. Well, this time I'm working at SEPTA. I don't have time to waste. I have to get to work. I got things to do. I left. I said, okay, I'll pay y'all. But in all actuality, I was thinking the next court case, I'm going to see the judge. Never. They're never going to let you see the judge. It's all about pay them. They're never. So it's like, we're paying you or you got this felony on your record. Felony? What the felony? Felony. Okay, so y'all know what that means. Anyway, because I love everybody. All right, so here's the circle. This is where the circle comes in at. Now, from January, I finally get on the train because you're in training for 2 months. I finally get to get on the train and I'm working good and they loving me. They liking me out there to conduct the real conductors because I'm an assistant conductor. The real conductors, the real engineers, they loving me out there. I got a great personality. I'm a good guy. You know, I'm about something. I'm a man. I play. I'm funny. Well, I get out there and I get attacked by a homeless guy. Bust in the face with a bottle. Boom. No, this is how it went. This is exactly how it went. Train to Wilmington, Delaware. Wow. Yeah, that's how it went. And I heard a pop, but everything was black, right? Then I guess they say he punched me in my face twice and he headbutted me twice. I ended up on my knee. I came to when I lift myself up and I never lost a fight. So that's one thing. I never in my life lost a fight. So I said, oh, I'm getting my ass whooped. Oh, I'm getting my butt whooped on here. Let me handle this business. I went to go fight him. He runs away. What did I do? Hands up. What did I do? So he's mentally ill. So boom, they caught him. He went to jail. I'm out of work. So I'm out of work for a year and a half. And the Regional Rail, because of the Railways Act, don't allow you to get any workman's compensation. And I wasn't there long enough to get a good enough amount of short-term disability. So they were giving me $400 a week. And man, like when I tell you, the first day when I went to the hospital, they were like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm what? But like the second day, I couldn't even get out the bed. Light was hurting my eyes, headaches. Yo, you could talk, you could whisper to me. I used to, when I talked about this, I used to get a headache talking about this. A depression, everything that you could think of, I went through. I went through everything that you could think of. My body was hurting because I guess the twists and turns, I don't know, concussion. So I finally started feeling good. The doctor allowed me to go back to work, but SEPTA still won't allow me to come back to work. They won't. They don't allow me to come back. I don't know what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. So here's the circle now. I pay child support for my daughter. I'm a great father. Don't get that twisted. Don't ever get that twisted. I do in the city of Philadelphia. We're not going to say ethnicities, and we're not going to say even sexes, but we're going to say the hustle of a broke person in the city of Philadelphia is child support. When they're broke, they think that you owe them for all the bills that they pay. Even if you're a great dad. So I've been paying child support since I had this person when I was paying her all her bills in her apartment. I furnished it. Anytime she asked me for money, here's another thing. If you get into an argument, their biggest thing, because they can't physically, as a man, some women can really fight, but as a man, certain women can't beat men. And certain men can't beat women, but women can't beat men. Boom. And the way that they win is say, I'll take you to child support, as if y'all threaten. Like, what's that? Like, and the only thing you're doing is separating us from the child, because y'all are going to hate me for this, and this is going to be very wrong to say, but I advocate for, if you take me to child support, then the judge becomes that child's father, even though I haven't abided by my own rule. So I'm sorry for advocating for that, and I'm saying it out loud right now. But another thing is, so now I have no finances coming in. I'm in child support. Child support, I'm doing Lyft. I do Lyft and Uber with no problem. Get that money. Child support suspends my license. First of all, I wasn't physically capable of working, but when I finally got capable of working, my license is suspended by child support because I'm not paying my driver's license. I don't get that. They want you to have a job, or they want you to pay, but Amazon will hire you if you have a license no matter what. I work for SEPTA, which is transportation, and they suspended my license. So if they were to tell me to come back to work today, my driver's license is suspended. What's next? Okay, so I owe $1,700 to them, to Delaware County, for the food stamps that I received, in which I did not do fraud, because I don't do that. I do not do that. I don't do nothing illegal. I'll hustle. I'll stand my ass out. I'll walk around selling waters, and which I'm doing. I'm walking around selling waters. I am walking around selling waters. I'm not gonna lie about that. And it was a heat wave like crazy, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't have enough to get my clothing. I do have some sex toys left, roses and wands that I could sell. So I'm getting orders every once in a while. Um, I'm just trying to get back on my feet, man. But the vicious cycle is the circle. The vicious circle is I got injured at a job. The job won't let me back. The job isn't giving me any workman's compensation. This Delaware County lied on me. They're lying. They're lying. They are lying. 100% they're lying. They're trying to say I did fraud, in which I did not. I would never do that. I don't do that. You know how hard it is for a man to ask for some food stamps. So they're making me pay $1,700. So, okay. So the only reason why I keep mentioning Delaware County is because when I try to get another job, I have the felony up there until I pay off the $700. But I don't have the $1,700 to pay them off, to take that felony off so that I can get another job. And if that job is a driving job, or if I was to do Uber and Lyft or some type of delivery, I don't have a driver's license because child support took my driver's license. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I'm just trying to get back to work. I'm walking around selling waters. I'm not the type, like, I'm not going to go cry, because if I go cry, what are the babies out here going to do? I'm just going to figure it out. But if you are having a tough time, I do want to say, whatever you believe in, offer your salats, offer your prayers, stay in prayer, stay humble. If you need to drop a tear, if you need to shed a tear, shed a tear, because that will cleanse your soul, and it'll help you get emotionally focused. And then once you get emotionally focused, get mentally focused, and just figure it out. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. You will figure it out. Even if you have to do what I do. I go to a supermarket. I went and bought 3 cases of waters. I got borrowed money from someone. I got 3 cases of waters. Waters were $10.99 for, I had got Deer Park, and I didn't know that people didn't like Deer Park at the time. They like Poland Springs. Yeah, Poland Springs. I got the blue one, but most people want the green one. So I went and I was selling them for $1. I'm gonna kill the game, selling them for $1. The big sport bottles, the big ones, and everybody like, darn, you got the big ones for $1. And I didn't know I was only making $4 back off of it. So I was spending $10.99 and I'm making $14. That was horrible. So I was actually going to the store for people. All right, so that was not a flip. So now I'm selling them for $2, in which I recently just started selling them for $2. So I'm up to like $60 right now. So there's a light at the end of a tunnel. There's a light at the end. I think sometimes the higher power will take you away from something that you feel as though you became successful, and put you in position to where you actually supposed to be. And another thing, success is not necessarily finances. It's not necessarily things. Success is support. Let's talk about support. And I'm about to end this. I know y'all don't feel like hearing all this sob story. Y'all feel like going out having a great day. And I want you to have a great day today. But when it comes to support, I have noticed, since I've always been the businessman, whenever my phone rang, I'm learning it now because I have nothing. Whenever my phone rang, whether it's my mother, sorry, Mom, I do love you. Whether it's my mother, my closest cousins, friends. And guess what? My dad is supposed to be the worst person to ever walk the face of the earth, and he's the only person that called me just to say, how are you? How are you? My dad. Damn, like, that's crazy. from what my mom gave to me my entire life, I looked at him like he wasn't, and he's become in the darkest time I've ever had in my life. That's getting too emotional. I do want to say, success is support and security from others. I have approximately maybe 26 brothers and sisters. I have Chris gave me that Verizon Wireless job, so he didn't do anything wrong. He gave me that Verizon Wireless job. None of them ever did anything wrong. Terrell tried to get me a job, but I just didn't have a driver's license, and I couldn't get it. And I got a felony hanging over me, so I wasn't going to get it anyway. I just want to say, support your people, man. Support each other out there, man. Because I have some close friends and close family. And I thought, and just say, even if you don't have anything to give them, just call them and say, hey, how you doing? I just want to know how you doing mentally and physically and emotionally. Even if you can't help them financially, you could buy water off of them. So to end this, I just want to say that the support that I have has only come from phone calls from my dad. My dad doesn't live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but the only support that I have has only come from my dad.